This is it, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Welcome to the weekend edition of the Me at Connect on Air, the social media power chat. Today I have my guest, Dustin Stout. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello. Hold on, then I got to get my, hold on a second.
Yeah, thank you. Should I take a bow? Yeah.
Yes, you should. Well, then I'll do this for you. All right, guys, so this is going to be a little bit of a hybrid of a show today because we're not only going to be doing social media power chat, but we're going to be just chit-chatting in general about Dustin, picking his brain, getting him to tell his story and the whole deal. I do want to warn everyone that for some reason, because it's always something on my show, we're not able to flash up the comment tracker from the events. So please keep your comments going, and we're going to be reading them. And then if there's anybody that's really bat crap crazy about Dustin and wants to actually get on the show, raise your hand over here on the events, and we will pull you in. So let me give a couple shout outs real quick, okay, Dustin?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, we got Ralph Kaiser, woo, one of my favorites. We got now all we need is Dustin, and that's Blue Marlin Computer. Let's see, Randy Halarski, Randy and Annabelle. Annabelle, I've got my little pebbles for you today, darling, so check it out. Of course, the ever popular Jack Crawford, who's been on my show. We have your little one in the background. Hey.
Yes, Judah's in the background.
And Stephen Crone, I know, is going to be here. Jason Weiser, and I know Tom Coleman, who's got some questions for you. So before we get started, this is what I promised you. This is my imitation of your profile picture. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. That's me. That's me imitating you. What's up?
Awesome.
Without the facial hair. You like that?
Yeah, you need to put a little facial hair or maybe some mascara, just kind of.
I do, just to get that on there. All right, so listen, we're going to start off. I have so many things I want to talk to you about. Your blog post that you did yesterday about don't ask for permission, just press start. I love that. We're going to talk about, of course, your blog challenge, but let's talk about you. I really want to hear your background and kind of your Reader's Digest version of how you got to where you are today. Make it as long and short as you like. You got all the time in the world.
It's funny. I've been telling this story a lot, and online I feel like you only get to see a little snippet of people's lives because we tend to be, we see them on Google Plus or we see them on Twitter, I really love sharing stories. Sometimes it's a little awkward to share my own story, but I'll try to keep it brief because it's pretty crazy. It won't make much sense. It's a
little cray-cray. We all love some cray-cray.
A little cray-cray. So I grew up in a small town, Pennsylvania, a little town called Sharon. Shout out. Yo, nobody's ever heard of it, I promise you.
Except the two people that live there right now, right?
The 2.5 people that live there. Someone just had a baby.
Oh, nice.
So I grew up in a small town. I loved my small town, had a great experience there, but ever since the day I was born, I've wanted to get out. I was born just wanting something bigger, and I was named after Dustin Hoffman.
Gotcha.
I don't know. Nobody would know that because I don't say it very often. But my mom was a huge fan of his, and little did she know I would, too, myself, want to become an actor. And so ever since I was born, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be an actor, wanted to be in film, television. I loved theater. One of my favorite movies growing up was The Wizard of Oz.
Nice.
So I loved musical theater as well. I loved to dance. So I was addicted and all about the performing arts. And so naturally, you can't do much of that in a small town. So when I graduated high school, I booked it out to LA. My dad actually lived out there, so it made it a little bit easier transition. I was able to audition and get into a very prestigious acting academy, the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, and made it into their second-year program, which is by invite only. And so did my 2 years there and learned so much. And I kind of just dove right into the world of acting. I was able to land an agent right away. And
are you kidding? Wow. I mean, because that is such a tough market. I mean, he must have really busted out some skill set on him because that's tough. So good for you.
Yeah, certainly. And I really, the only reason that was able to happen was because I really got plugged into a really great church right away. My agent went to my church and she said, "Hey, you act? Yes, I do. Well, I attempt to. I don't know if I could officially say I'm an actor yet.
I
But
would
so
always
she
just
took
say
me
I
on.
act up, you know.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm an aspiring. I always like that word, aspiring.
Right.
So anyways, I did that. Didn't get my big break, as some might say. But I did some things. It was a lot of fun, and I realized really quickly that in Hollywood, um, and Judah knows too.
What up,
Uh,
Judah?
and in Hollywood, celebrities act and actors wait tables. So I ended up waiting tables like most of the actors in LA, and I didn't really like that. It was barely paying the bills and wasn't providing the lifestyle that I really wanted. So I ended up taking a job as a youth pastor. I was teaching teenagers, middle school through high school, about Jesus, and it was something I really loved, I was passionate about, and I was still able to kind of do my acting thing on the side if I wanted. Um, However, that wasn't quite paying the bills, and so I started to teach myself design. And I always had an eye for design. I knew Photoshop a little bit, and my youth ministry, they needed a logo, of course, because you got to be a cool youth ministry with a logo and branding.
Right.
So I did that. I created a logo and some branding. And then I was like, well, we need a website. Everybody needs a website. Otherwise,
What
how
time
are
frame
people
are
going
we
to find
talking
you?
about, too, by the way? How long ago was this?
This was, I think I took the job in 2008. And
Gotcha.
I kind of started diving into everything right away. And it's so funny, too, because I knew absolutely nothing about building websites. And I just started. And I'm the personality type where if I'm going to learn something, I dig in all the way. Like I have to keep drilling and drilling and drilling and drilling.
Right.
Eventually, found myself to a little website called tentblogger.com, written by a great guy named John Saddington, who is a friend of mine now, and he introduced me to WordPress, into blogging. And it started out me just blogging my lessons, what I was teaching every week, so that parents could know that I'm not teaching their kids crazy things.
Right.
So I started doing that, and then eventually that led into me starting my own WordPress-powered blog instead of, I was on Posterous at the time. And then I dug into WordPress. I just loved it. I loved the CMS. I loved the marketplace of it all, and I just things just started clicking for me really quickly. And before you know it, I had designed my own blog, and people were asking me, "Hey, could you design my blog?"
Right.
Sure. Yeah. Why not? And eventually somebody wanted to pay me to do it, and then then it really clicked. I was like, "Hold on a second, I can make money doing this." And I just sort of always had a knack for social media too, so I was always all over Facebook and Twitter and whatever the new social network was. And then Google Plus came out, and then game over. That's where my home is now. So,
Yeah. Welcome
long
back,
story
all of us
short,
on here, yeah.
right. So, long story short, I went from acting to, and I still pursue, have a love for the acting industry, but currently, trying to provide for a family in Southern California takes a fortune. So currently, my love of telling stories in the world of acting, and the performing arts, telling a story, whether it's through song or through a film or through interpretive dance.
Sure.
That love of telling stories has kind of evolved into helping other people tell online stories, their story online, in a way that just helps them to reach more people. And social media and building blogs and websites, that's the new way that people share and tell stories.
I think you know what I'm loving about your story too is that it's almost like the old story of getting into movies is being discovered at the drugstore or whatever, and I feel like the stories for the people that I've met that are doing really well in this industry, either with WordPress or in this world, it's accidental and it's created by need, and you just end up digging into it. And it's the people that do the most work and like you did, of like, all right, I'm just going to dive into this. They end up kind of just creating their own little niche.
Yeah.
Just sounds like what you did.
Yeah, I interview a lot of people too, and it's so funny how a lot of the people I interview, that it's like, you're a professional in social media. How did you get here? I don't know. Just started doing it. Yeah, just kind of fell into it.
It is that, and for me, same thing. I started. I some of you don't know. I have a building inspection business I've had for 13 years. That, like, me and the hard hat bossing men around. One of my favorite things.
Nice.
And then everything really tanked in 2009. I was working on high-end things, and I started working with this group here in Denver called Crave Denver, and same thing, just sort of dove into it. And honestly, at the time, because I'm not as young as you, I was like, Twitter, what am I doing? And then once you just dive into it, and again, it's really about helping people tell their story. I'm with you on that. That resonates big for me. Hey, I'm gonna segue real quick, and I'm so mad we can't do our little eyeball thing, although I can do it for some of them, like Jack Crawford. Woo! That's awesome. We have a couple of them. Woot. Ralph Kaiser says the word of the day for Dustin, Aventador LP 700-4.
That would be Aventador.
Aventador. I did not say it right. I like it.
Know what the Aventador is?
No, bring it. Tell us.
It is the newest Lamborghini model.
Oh, dear.
They didn't make a whole lot of them. It's the most beautiful and gorgeous car.
Wait, did you post that the other day that this was on your Christmas list or something, like for people who want to know what to get me, right?
Yeah, this is the beginning of my Lamborghini campaign to get them to notice me and give me a free car.
Listen, I think, I'll use this, that, my favorite, let's be hookers for things we love, and let's hook ourselves out. Like, let's get some cool promo things. I'd like to wear a tiara for someone. I'd like to represent some cool products, so let's put that out there, that we are available to represent cool items and products.
Yeah, if Lamborghini is watching the show, I am fully available to test drive all your models.
Then do this.
Especially the Aventador.
Yes.
I'm probably not doing it justice by pronouncing it. I apologize. Teach me by showing you the car.
Right. I will do a commercial and say it correctly if you show me how to do that.
Right. Absolutely. I've got commercial experience. I've done commercials. It's it's fine.
All right, so I'm going to bring up some other questions too. I love that too. That could be your bad. That's going to be one of your bad crap crazies. I have a feeling.
Yeah.
The Aventador, right there.
It just might be.
Hey, speaking of which, I do want to keep up with my promise, which is that I did wear. Hold on a second. My PJs.
Nice.
Monkey pants. Holla! It's Sunday morning. I don't need to get dressed up for y'all. I got the hair in the ponytail, little bit of mascara. I'm supposing you probably have some too.
Of course.
Yeah, pretty. It takes a village to make it look this way.
That's right.
My buddy Tom Coleman asked me to ask you about I'm back crap crazy about Martin Shervington. Can you talk about what work you've been doing with him?
Yeah, Martin is a genius. I don't know if you know this.
Yes.
The guy's a machine, and he.
Let's do this for Martin. Hold on a second.
Yeah. Genius. So he's a genius. He really is. He's a giver. He loves giving people things, and he has this ability to just crank out tutorial videos and instructional stuff. And so he had this idea to create this website called Plus Your Business, and it's a website completely dedicated to helping businesses do well on Google+.
Yes.
And so he came to me. Apparently, in his not amazing opinion, he believes I am one of the better designers on Google+. And
can I just say, did you almost wet your pants when he brought himself to you? Where you're like so excited?
Well, yeah, a little bit.
Okay, I mean, just say
it. I was shaking just a tiny bit. I almost cried.
I love it.
Him and I have been talking for quite a long time, anyways. But he asked me to do their branding. If I would be willing to help out in creating a logo and maybe doing a bit of consulting in their brand identity for this website, because they really want to do it well. What they've done is they've wrapped all these really awesome people who have been contributing to the Google Plus space.
Right.
And he rounded them up together somehow and said, hey, I want to do this thing. Could be really cool. And of course he said it much more elegantly that I've got this idea and I want to do it, and I think it's going to be really great.
He posted. I will say, he posted something the other day, and it was a video, and everybody had all these great comments, and I was like, oh, Martin Shervington, you're just like so soothing to listen to. He could read a phone book, and we'd all be like, That's the best thing ever. So
Yeah, yeah.
that's it.
He speaks and people just swoon. It's what happens.
Yep.
So yeah, I was able to do some branding for them. I designed their logo and you know, just kind of had my ear to what they've been doing. I've been pretty busy, so I haven't been you know involved in all the aspects, but you know, they've done a great job on the website, and they've got some really cool plans down the road for everything they're doing, and I'm excited about it. You know, just to be a little bit of a part of it.
Oh my gosh! I mean, that is what a great honor for everyone involved, and just to help on something, creating something new and something that you know is going to be, you know, evergreen, and people are really going to be excited about it. In fact, when we're done, will you make sure to post that link for Martin's info on our event here as well, because I love to have that people come back to this and always find out what it is. But I will say, so I'm fairly new at Google Plus. Only my story on it is that about a year and a half ago, somebody was telling me about it, and I was like, oh, what now? What is this? You know, or maybe about 2 years ago. And I love that. I don't know if you've ever seen that graphic of. It's probably from the Mars landing, and it's, you know, meanwhile over on Google Plus, which always makes me laugh. That one is the funniest. It does, because I believed it about a year and a half ago, and then I drank the Kool-Aid.
Oh man!
Let me tell you something. I know you drink it, right? You're a little Kool-Aid maker. It does taste good, and I always say to people, I feel like I have a whole new world for myself. I mean, I have people like you. The Hilarskis that I bring on constantly. I'm always on the phone with them. Greg's always like, "Are you on with Panama again?" I'm like, "Yes, I am," because I can. So it is a whole new world that I think is fabulous, and I know you drink that Kool-Aid. So tell me more about when you really started getting into Google Plus.
Well, I'll tell you what, I was skeptical at first, like most, when they announced their new social network.
Sure.
I was all over Twitter at the time. I mean, Twitter was my crack.
Twitter hooker.
I was hooked. I was still on Facebook, but, you know, it was about when I was starting to get annoyed with every little stupid decision they were making.
Sure.
And I was.
And we still are.
Yeah.
That hasn't stopped.
You know, everybody saw what happened with Google Buzz. We just kind of wish that never happened. We don't talk about it. You saw what happened with Google Wave, another attempt at social components, and it just didn't work out. So when this whole thing of Google Plus came out, I was skeptical. I'm like the next technology lover. You know, I love the shiny new thing, but they were really going to have to do something amazing to impress me with a social network and move me away from Twitter.
Right, and also when you start to get the voice like you have, we want to make sure this thing has got some legs to it, or else then we're going to be attached to it. Of like, oh yeah, sure, Dustin, you said that about Google Buzz or whatever. So yeah.
Right. Yeah, and so I watched, I think it was like a video or something they did, and they talked about what Google Plus was going to be about, and I don't know what it was. It was right when they released the beta, where you had to have an invite only. Whatever they explained, I just looked at it and I go, oh my gosh, they got it. Like they figured it out. And not only did they figure it out, they're jumping ahead of where social media is going. Like they just did it. Yeah. And I was blown away by the concept, by just the ideas and the inspiration behind it. I wasn't terribly crazy about the design of it all, because I'm an aesthetic snob. But I hated Facebook and how it looked, and it looked better than Facebook at least.
Yeah.
And so literally, I was sold day one when I saw what they were about, and I scoured the internets for someone who had an invite, and it was the craziest story. Some random guy in Germany saw me, you know, desperately begging for an invite, and he sent it. He was like, "Hey, I have an invite." He probably used Google Translate or something. It was like, invites for you. He didn't sound like that. He looked very manly.
Right.
But he sent me the invite. I was so grateful. I got in and started digging into it, and I understand, you know, that Google owns search, and the big thing behind Twitter was the fact that you can search, and a lot of the attraction about finding leads on Twitter was search. And I'm like, okay, Google, search, social, something big is going to happen there. And so I dug in, and a good friend of mine named James Brooks, he is a London native as well. He's a good friend of mine. We decided that this was going to be the new big thing, and somebody's got to dig into it and figure it out for everybody else who's going to come, because people are going to come on here and be like, okay, how do I use this thing? It's not Facebook, so how do I use it? So we started a website, G Plus Tuts, short for Google Plus Tutorials, and we started cranking out tutorials and teaching people how to use Google Plus, and I think we launched it on July 4th of 2011, and immediately the traffic was just unbelievable.
Wow, you are
to the
way
website.
ahead of a curve for sure. I mean, that's
yeah,
over 2 years ago.
The,
that's a big deal. So I mean, talk about every day was beta, right?
Yeah, it was still beta. Nobody had access except those who had an invite, and so people were begging us for invites on the website, and we did that thing for a long time, and eventually both of us got really busy with our own person. He has a creative agency as well, where he does web design and branding and all that fun stuff too. And of course that's what I do. So we kind of got busy. We kind of let the site go, and because there were people like Martin Shervington popping up, doing it even better than we were. So we kind of left it to those guys and focused on our businesses. But I just kept digging in, and I just loved it. I loved the people here. Some of the most amazing, brilliant people. The engagement is so high, and the conversations are so good. I just feel like it's one of those places where it was the right idea, the right time, the right synergy. I hate using those power words, but it makes sense.
It does, and we need to hashtag Google Plus Kool-Aid, because that I think that's how we all feel. And you've been in it a lot longer than I have. Sometimes I tend to represent the everyman too, because I still have my foot in the other world, and people really do go like, "What's going on over there?"
Yeah.
And once I get it, here's how I knew I've made the jump to Lightspeed. Let's bring out a Star Wars reference.
Yes.
Why not?
Yes.
Right? Is that I check Google Plus first before Facebook. I know that sounds really elementary, but that's when I went, something's going on here. Like, I'd rather go see, can't go see it. Hey, real quick, so I'm going to, Jaana, I think it's Jaana Nyström.
Yes.
Yay! I just posted out for her the other day, because I love that compilation she did. And yes,
she's
Jaana,
amazing.
she is. She goes, can't comment on the events, thought it was a public one. Yes, it is. We don't know what's going on, but I'm going to go ahead and invite you. Jaana, if you want to come on, we'll bring you on, darling, for sure. Yeah, talk about, she looks like she's got it all going on too. So
man,
what's
she's brilliant.
Is she?
Oh yeah.
I just reposted her the other day too. Let's see what else we have. Let's see. I don't know how to say this name, but I'm just gonna. So you with the 3 names. Thank you. What is the best social network to learn new things, or educate yourself? Jump in on that one. I know what you're gonna say, but go ahead.
MySpace. Sorry, no.
That's cool.
Google Plus. Well, the reason is I think Google Plus just has this culture naturally of teaching, of sharing. And people like Martin Shervington or Dennis LaBelle or Jaana, who's amazing at that as well. So many people on here are so willing to teach and to give and to add value and to educate in not just Google Plus things, but also in the realm of social media, marketing, online presence. There just seems to be a lot of those folks on here who are contributing in such a cool and interesting way. Jesse Wadillo, I could name drop forever.
Oh yeah,
there's
definitely.
Just so many cool people on here who just love sharing and teaching and adding value to other people's lives.
Well,
so
and I feel a kinder, gentler. I mean, and I do. I will say I have seen a little bit of snark sometimes, or there are people that may be a bit ungracious about their knowledge.
Oh yeah.
I just tend to I tend to not engage with them as much, but they've got some, they got some smarts, so I'll take it.
Yeah.
But I really do gravitate more towards the people who are gracious about it and are just like, hey, I've done the work, but I'm showing you so you can engage more. There is really something unique about the community of people, feeling like they're much more, open to saying, like you said, people that dig in, do the work, but then, now here, I'm going to share it. Why not? Light a candle kind of thing. I'm going to invite Jaana just to see if she wants to come in, just for giggles.
Yeah.
This is almost like my new version of Price is Right. Come on down.
Jaana Nyström, come on down.
Exactly. If she comes in, that'll be great, and if not, it'll just be you and me. So, but I agree with you on that. I think somebody had posted, this was a couple, I've mentioned this in another show, it said, how do I, I've said this a couple times, how do I bring people over from Facebook to Google+? And I just said, don't spend a lot of time, just build that new environment and the new with Google+, and it'll eventually, you'll eventually either not care about what's going on over there, or they'll migrate over. So what do you think would be, do you have any advice on that for people that feel like they need to get the exact same audience going on in all the platforms? Like, give me some of the things that you think people should do if they feel like they have to.
Well, I'll tell you my experience. At the beginning, I think I made the mistake of being a little too excited, as I tend to be. Once I dig into something, I tend to get really passionate. I want to tell everybody about it, and anytime there's some misinformation about it, which there was a lot of misinformation about Google Plus in the beginning. It's exactly like Facebook, or it's a ghost town. I tend to get really defensive, and I just want to pound out those misinformations. So I kind of made the mistake of I made the mistake of being a little too excited. I think I may have turned some of my friends and family off, actually.
Oh, how about look who's in his house? Girlfriend.
Hello!
This hangout has just gone international.
Oh, girlfriend, look at those glasses. I love that. Welcome.
Hi. I've been working in the garden, so I'm all red and sweaty and...
Oh, yeah, accent. Keep talking.
I'm soon off to sauna, as I'm in Finland. Woo!
Nice. We're all jealous.
It's easy like Sunday morning over here, so it's easy like Sunday afternoon for you. I see your little garden in the background. Yay.
Yeah, actually it's almost 7:30 p.m.
Ah.
A little bit later than the afternoon.
Absolutely. Hey, thanks for coming on. We're gonna get into you. Let's talk about you real quick, because we were just talking about how bat-crap crazy we are for Google+. So clearly you are too.
Yay! Well, I have to say, 2.5 years ago, I didn't know anything about social media. I dabbled a bit in Facebook. I was posting photos of my golfing or diving or something, and just interacting with the family and some friends. And then I got invited to Google Plus on the 30th of June. And
was it the same crazy Russian guy that invited Dustin?
I don't think so. I can't remember who it was. Actually, I got a few invites. But anyway, it was like line, hook, and sinker, and I was sold. And in August, I decided that I will make a career out of Google Plus.
Nice.
I had been working in travel trade for 23 years, and I just sort of pivoted and studied for about 1.5 years, and now I have my own business, and I'm coaching and teaching businesses and non-profits and whoever wants me to how to use Google+.
That's awesome.
A total change of life, a total turning point,
Yes.
Everything thanks to Google+.
Let's give this. Are you ready for it?
Yay!
I have a feeling all the people that I end up talking to, I swear we're all accidental. We just accidentally fell into doing what we love. And let's segue and talk about, I don't know if you read Dustin's blog last night, but about, just doing what you love, and, press start and don't ask for permission. Let's talk about that, because this is exactly what we're all doing.
Yeah.
Exactly, yes.
Just doing
Dustin is in a subscription circle. I get everything from him.
Oh,
right, and we're all like this.
Wonderful. That made my day, Jaana. And actually, you're in my subscription circle too. I call it my influencers, and that's my more than anything. Whenever my phone buzzes, I'm always looking. Is it Google Plus? Okay, yeah. It's Jaana. Yeah, that's Jaana's. No matter what I'm doing, I'm like, okay, Jaana posted.
Sorry, I tend to post quite a lot every now and then.
Well,
that's
if
okay.
you have something to say,
I love it.
Everybody's looking for it, and I think that for me, you guys, that has been the best thing out of any social media platform that I've looked at. Yeah, I'll see pictures or whatever, but for me, influencers, that's what's hooked me in with Google Plus for sure. And can I? I'm just gonna stop real quick because Jack Crawford wants me to explain what bat crap crazy is.
Oh, okay.
So if you haven't been on my show before, that is my favorite thing to say. I am so bat crap crazy about, and then fill in the blank. So Jaana, you'll have a chance to tell me what you're bat crap crazy about. I have a feeling we're all bat crap crazy about Google Plus, so we got that going on. But anyway, that's the Mia Connect buzz phrase. So now y'all know what that is. So I'm bat crap crazy about that blog post you did, and that thing. I think what did you post that at, like 9:30 on a Saturday night, and we were all just eating that up like cray-cray.
Yeah, I have no regard for timing when it comes to blog posts. I'm notorious for doing it like 10 o'clock at night, just because, you know,
it works.
I live in California, and, you know, it's a little bit, you know, we're a little bit behind. Right. But it's funny, and by the way, before I forget, as Jaana was speaking, I remembered the name of the guy that invited me to Google Plus. I remember his first name, and it was Magnus. How
That's
cool
even
a first
better.
name is that?
Magnus. Must be Swedish?
He was German. He was German.
Oh, German. Okay.
Magnus.
Yeah,
That's
sounds like
story.
he'd be in like the World's Strongest Man or something, and he looked like
But
him.
holding something with his teeth, like holding 1,000 pounds with his teeth, you know.
Yeah, like he literally punched through my screen and handed me the invite to Google Plus.
Wow.
So anyways, yeah, this blog post of mine, it's been brewing for a long time, and I'm sure, Jaana, you can relate, and yeah, you could probably relate too. I've got so many ideas spinning and spinning and spinning, and I'm constantly recording them, and you know, sometimes it takes a while for them to marinate, for them to age, and I actually started writing this blog post back in June, and Chris Brogan had, I mentioned this at the very bottom of the post. Chris Brogan released a podcast of something very similar that he was talking about, and it's very interestingly titled "Start Your Own Damn Show." And I loved it because it was exactly what I was feeling. I feel like our culture is just, you know, millennials in particular, my generation in particular, they're waiting. They get out of college, and they're so used to people handing them assignments and handing them their to-do list, and you know, so they're out there, they're hitting the application game and the resume game, and I just feel like they're waiting for permission to do what they love to do, when today doing what you love is so much more accessible than ever. If you, like Chris said, if you want to start a TV show, start your own. You got a YouTube channel, start recording some video, interview some people, get a hold of Mia Voss, she knows all about it. If you want to start a radio show, get a podcast going. If you want to be a writer, start a blog. Get your work out there, and especially the creative industries. I mean, I explain in the blog post, you know, if your ultimate dream is to be a plastic surgeon, please don't grab a scalpel and go.
I love that little caveat. Thank you for saying that, because some people might be that literal, like, huh.
Yeah. Hey, your nose looks weird, Dustin. It's a little crooked. I could fix that.
Right.
No, thank you, sir.
Too funny.
You know, if you want to be in the Secret Service, don't just jump in there next parade. Wouldn't turn out good for you. But there are a lot of professions where you can't just kind of start it on your own. However, using social media, if you don't have a job, or if you do have a job and you're looking to move up in the ranks, you can post and talk about your industry. You can become a go-to resource for your industry, no matter what industry it is. You can go out there and you can start sharing things, your knowledge, your perspective, your ideas, and you can become a go-to guy or gal in that industry. And that will land you a gig easily. I mean, we hear more and more about recruiters finding people through social media. And
right. It's a great way to showcase. I call it showcase your shiny.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
You know?
That's a brilliant way to put it. Showcase your shiny.
It really is.
That's very true. I mean, I still am a nobody from Finland, and
oh, you're somebody to us, Jaana.
You sure are.
Nobody's profit in their own land, so or how do they say? Anyway,
Amen.
I'm much better known in Google Plus than I am actually in Finland, because Google Plus is not yet so big in Finland. I'm working on it. but it takes a bit of time to get the people to understand the difference between Facebook, which is a walled garden,
Right.
and
Yes.
between Google Plus, which is like open to the world,
Yes.
and especially small businesses who don't want really to pay for all their status updates to show.
Right.
So, I mean, when you learn how to use Google Plus and you sort of read like Dustin's post about
posting.
how a Google Plus
Post about
post should
posting.
be,
That's
and
so
I love
use
how meta that is.
hashtags and things, and your posts will start showing up in the Google search. And
Yeah.
this is something never happens with Facebook posts.
Never.
No, you never. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm going to tell you know what I think, kind of sewing all that together, the biggest thing, too, is authenticity and individuality as well. And I think a lot of people might get kind of caught up in, well, my show's not like this, or my interview's like this. And there's such a world of abundance. There's so much abundance out there, and if you've got a message, and it's okay to be really unique about it, and to say, okay,
Yeah.
I really want to encourage people on that too, because even for myself, when I started doing my show, somebody said, why are you doing that? I'm like, because I just want to talk about I love, and about people that I'm crazy about, so I'm just going to start doing it on YouTube, and I'll see what happens. And I really encourage people to and so just get your own unique voice, and there's enough out there that you can blast it out.
Yeah, just go do the dang thing.
Do it, and if you get crickets, you can decide what where to go next. And
yeah, just entertain the crap out of those crickets, and they'll chirp loud enough, and people will notice.
Exactly. I mean,
That's
we
even
learn all
better.
the time. We learn all the time.
Absolutely. Hey, Jaana, so what's your tell us, like, what's your big thing you're working on lately, or tell me what kind of call to action I can lead people to, just because you jumped on the show and I'm so excited. So let's showcase your shining.
Oh my goodness, I don't know. We Finns are very modest, and we don't know how to sort of shine out. We are really, really modest people, and I'm blushing already.
Oh,
You're
so
asking me to sort of say something what I have done or what I am doing or something. The color is rising.
I love it. Let's do this for you. I'm going to do this for you then, because I want to talk about how awesome you are. Well, certainly the compilation, and I shared it, Tom Coleman shared it, everybody share, because we're really looking for stuff that is succinct and easy to understand, and then to also say, hey, look at this, So that's what I love about Google Plus, is we all get so excited about one another and sharing it.
Oh yeah,
It's an amazing
the one
community.
I did yesterday. Yeah.
It's brilliant.
That took some time.
And then rightly so that it's shared. In fact, I'll repost it on this event as well, because I think I posted it last night and said, info. That's how I described it.
Yeah.
Because it was yummy and tasty.
Yeah, because there are, I'm Finnish, and there are so many great writers who are actually native speakers, and sometimes for us bloody foreigners, it's a bit difficult to understand, especially long texts with bullshit jargon or something like the bullshit bingo or something.
Exactly.
So this is why I try to write in a very simple way, especially also my own blogs. My own blog posts, I blog in English and in Finnish, and
wow.
Well, in the beginning, some people, they said something about grammar and using wrong words or something, but they have stopped, because, I try to help people, and I try to write about the things that I find interesting, and I hope will help other Google Plus users and everything. But now it's just, simple content a child could read, because that's the best I can do in English.
Listen, at least you're multicultural. A lot of us, we're one-dimensional. So and anybody that's giving you a hard time, you let me know. I'll choke them out.
Yay, thanks.
Hey, real quick, I'm going to jump in. We have a couple of people commenting because they're so excited. People are going bat crap crazy that you two are on the show. Little FYI. I'm so bummed out we can't get our little comment tracker, but it's not the Mia Connect if there isn't some kind of hot mess going on. Jack is posting that Dustin, your blog post is getting some good reviews on LinkedIn already. Randy said, "Woohoo, Jaana." So
It's
is it
being
Jaana?
shared on LinkedIn.
Jaana, yes. Like
I thought so.
Like you would be yawning. Jaana.
Yeah. Except never, ever, ever would I yawn when I talked about you. Ever. Let's see. From Jack posted a link from Melanie Hill on LinkedIn. So I'll let you guys go, and because it's kind of a long thing, but I guess the Melanie Hall is who's talking about you, Dustin. So go and look at. Yeah, you made it to the grown-up leagues over there with the stiffies on LinkedIn.
I haven't logged into LinkedIn in I don't know how long, and I love LinkedIn. I just suck at it, and
oh, don't worry now. Look at
there's a
seriously.
picture.
Yeah. Do you see this? It's the Jack shared. Jack Crawford. Nothing but big love for you. I'm gonna do the big Mia heart. Bye-bye.
That guy rocks.
Doesn't he? I know. He was gonna come on Friday and then had the back injury, so he was over there just posting away. It was on pain meds. That was even more fun. Jack on pain meds is a hoot. But yeah, he did post it, and Melanie, there are 3 people liked his post. So, and Jack is, I'm going to say it, my favorite LinkedIn hooker, and he loves it. So he's going to come on the show and talk about how he's really championed that. So it looks like you don't need to do any work to get your name over there, Dustin.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
apparently.
totally.
It must be Mike Alton. Mike Alton's kind of big in that space, and
I think so. Yeah, there's
to share some of my stuff.
Here's another question real quick. Nathaniel Brennis says, I would love to see some real-world examples of small businesses benefiting from Google+. From what I've seen, it seems that people that use Google+ the most and benefit from it the most are social media people. Good point. Of course, there's engagement. Of course, there's activity. I just think the majority of folks are still on Facebook. Could be a notary, plumber, an IRL shop actually gain decent benefits from, could they actually gain benefits from being here? That's a good question because we all are in kind of that world. So what about sort of the everyman that's, got these different businesses? What do you guys think?
Yeah, Jaana, you want to take that one first?
Okay. So I've been working with some Finnish companies, and like I said, Google Plus is not really big in Finland yet, but still, they report that, for instance, if they have 200 fans on Facebook and get like, 1-2 likes per post. Mm-hmm. On Google Plus, they have already over 1,000 in a short time, and they get interactions, they get +1s, they get shares, people ask questions, but these are companies that can post in English. They are not local, like.
Did you say global?
Local.
I know. I love the word global, though. That's even better. Let's start using hashtag global.
Okay.
Hashtag global.
Okay, so they are companies that benefit of posting in English, because even their Finnish clientele can speak and learn English, or speak and read English, I mean. And so they can cater for international clients and the Finnish clients at the same time, which is their target group. But for a barber or a tailor, I would say a local page in Finnish at the moment would be better. But if you work, let's say, if you have the whole country as your playground, or even if you can do international business, then Google Plus is definitely the place to be.
I'm going to jump in on that too. I mean, for people that I coach on it too, I mean, all I can say is that I just like, why wouldn't you at least engage in it? It's just, you know what I mean? It's Google. It's you just can't go wrong with at least engaging and doing the post. And even for local restaurants or something, you can use the hashtags of country and Western music, or you know what I mean. There's just it's easy to do. Why wouldn't you at least try to get that to get some spicy content out there, some fun content, and put it out there? So I say at least try it. That's my really simple everyman advice.
Yeah, totally.
Exactly.
And with the integration with Google Plus Local too, there's
exactly.
a few people out there really talking about this, and I think it's one of the more under talked about benefits of businesses using Google+. It's the ability to connect your local presence, your Google Local, with your Google+ social media preference. And I just did an interview for Huffington Post and a journalist for Forbes, and where I was talking about the biggest benefit for businesses is that your social networking activity is indexed on Google+. And if a business gets that, if they just get that one thing, they'll realize how much of a waste their activity on Facebook could potentially be. If you're doing the same exact thing on Facebook that you are, or on Google+ that you are on Facebook, and you're doing it well on Google+, those Google+ posts are indexed in search, and so you're adding more SEO juice for your brand. It's not boosting your website's SEO necessarily. That's yet to be proved. But the fact that you're hitting it from social in search, and you're hitting it from your website in search, and you're wrapping local into it, to me, that ROI potential is massive. Now, I've yet to see, I've yet to see one of my local businesses really take that by the reins. But at this point in time, it's the innovators who are doing it. It's the ones who are going to be first to the scene to really take it, run with it, who are going to be the ones that benefit the most.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that. I think it is, just strike out, the ones who strike now. They're just, again, I'm just going to simplify it of like, just why would you not at least try it and get your name out there? And especially if you're going to become a little bit of a hit on that, it's those first strikers, you guys.
Yeah,
exactly.
The ones who are first to the scene.
Yes. Let's see. I've got a shout out to Linda D. and Kenneth Manasseh Sr. That's from Jack. We've kind of got all different kinds of links for everybody is commenting. So you guys are creating a firestorm. I'm loving it.
Yay!
Yes.
Hi, Lindy!
Yay! Cute. Linda. Oh, do you know her? That's awesome. Good. Let's see. Jack Crawford, I love him. He loves to quote people is the biggest benefit. Oh, I love that. I just saw what you have on. Say something, Jaana. Oh, my girl. That's fabulous for those glasses.
That's a great look for you.
I'm not a tiara type.
Oh, I know. And I usually wear the crown. I might put my hipster kitty glasses on.
You're probably the least scary pirate I've ever seen in my life.
Exactly.
You're like the happiest pirate in the world.
She's a comedy pirate. I'm going to do this too. These are my other favorites as well.
Oh man, now I got to do it too.
Hipster kitty. I know everybody makes fun of me. I think some of the some folks that do shows are like, "What's with you and the tiara and the glasses?" I'm like, "What's not?" I love it. Why not? Right? So, hey, I want to get into bat crap crazy. So who would like to talk about what they're bat crap crazy about? Do you want to start, Dustin? Oh, a nice facial hair, darling. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm bat crap crazy about Zach Galifianakis. So I've always wanted to have a beard like him. And thanks to Google+, I've accomplished that.
That is awesome. You just need the big, giant white man afro.
Right.
And you are good to go. No, they don't have one. And listen, if I could, I would get one for sure. I think that would be fantastic. All right, Jaana, what are you bat crap crazy about, darling?
What is bat crap crazy?
Oh, that's right. You missed that. So bat crap crazy is what you are just crazy about. Like, so for me last week, I was bat crap crazy about this guy, Frank Z, that posted these great YouTube videos of different animals. He did this one on the tarsier. I'll repost it. Can't even take how fun he is. So it's whatever you're crazy about, which is a great opportunity for you to shout out somebody, something, person, place, or thing that you love. Go.
Okay, that's good. Oh, there are so many people. Good God. Stephen Fry comes to mind for the first.
Nice.
We get this Stephen Fry. We get a great British show, the QI in Finland, and I'm watching even the reruns, which I've seen 5-6 times. He's just fabulous. But if we speak about people actually on Google+, there are so many. Well, Martin Shervington, Ronnie Binzer, my Hangout helper. Hi, Ronnie.
Hi, Ronnie. We all are bat crap crazy about Ronnie Binzer. He gets the big heart.
Exactly. And then I must say the whole Google+ team, all the community managers who, and even, Vic and everybody, because I spend a lot of time in the Google Plus Discuss community, being one of the TCs or top contributors, and I regularly see Googlers hop in the conversation and ask more about, you know, what are the problems. Do you get that on Facebook? Have you ever seen Zuckerberg comment on anybody's post?
Right.
Asking what is the problem.
Zuckerberg comment on someone's post? Doesn't that cost money?
Vic and Dutra, we get regularly commenting on somebody's post and giving a shout out for a team member who knows about it or something. So this is, I'm always so surprised what they do, because they listen, and that is something really strange which you can't see on any other platform.
And engage. And I will give you a shout out real quick, Dustin, because I had, I can't remember how we started, but I had signed up for your blogs and was feeling all goofy about you. My big business girl crush, I call it. And I think you just responded so authentically, and I was like, check this guy. Look at this guy right here. I was, so I think that is a very common thing in this community as well. There are a lot of people that have no problem reaching out and just saying, hey, yeah, I mean, here's my information, or here's my answer. And so I'm with you on that one. Good bat crap crazy.
Yeah.
On all counts. So, all right, you guys, that's it. We're wrapping up on the hour. And listen, I'm still in my PJs. I'm excited. I think it was a great weekend edition of the Social Media Power Chat. And we got you on there. Oh, hey, hot kitty.
Meow. I'm actually not Saturday anymore, but still.
Yeah, it's Sunday Saturday, and actually,
I say that's a beautiful cat.
Hello.
I say.
Bob Voss is over here sleeping. My tripod Bob, he won't get on the show, but he'll be on some other time. So my three-legged cat. So, all right, you guys, that's it. Jaana, thank you so much for coming on. You are
thank you for having me. And I should have put the mask on earlier because, like I said, I've been working in the garden and I'm hot and sweaty and looking like me.
Listen, you're putting the hot mess today.
Don't apologize for being beautiful. No.
There's always something that's a hot mess, and you are definitely putting the hot mess today for us, so thank you. And Dustin, darling, thank you so much. That I really appreciate it. So I want to have you guys on the show again sometime soon. Please come back.
Absolutely.
Okay, darling.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Welcome to the weekend edition of the Me at Connect on Air, the Social Media Power Chat. Today I have my guest, Dustin Stout. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello. Hold on. Then I got to get my, hold on a second.
Yeah, thank you. Should I take a bow? Yeah.
Yes, you should. Well, then I'll do this for you. All right, guys, so this is going to be a little bit of a hybrid of a show today because we're not only going to be doing social media power chat, but we're going to be just chit-chatting in general about Dustin, picking his brain, getting him to tell his story and the whole deal. I do want to warn everyone that for some reason, because it's always something on my show, we're not able to flash up the comment tracker from the event. So please keep your comments going, and we're going to be reading them. And then if there's anybody that's really bat crap crazy about Dustin and wants to actually get on the show, raise your hand over here on the events, and we will pull you in. So let me give a couple shout outs real quick, okay, Dustin?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, we got Ralph Kaiser, woo, one of my favorites. We got now all we need is Dustin, and that's Blue Marlin Computer. Let's see, Randy Halarski, Randy and Annabelle. Annabelle, I've got my little pebbles for you today, darling, so check it out. Of course, the ever popular Jack Crawford, who's been on my show. We have your little one in the background. Hey.
Yes, Judah's in the background.
And Stephen Crone, I know, is going to be here. Jason Weiser, and I know Tom Coleman, who's got some questions for you. So,
my youth ministry, they needed a logo, of course, because you got to be a cool youth ministry with a logo and branding.
Right.
So I did that. I created a logo and some branding. And then I was like, well, we need a website. Everybody needs a website. Otherwise,
what time frame are we talking about, too, by the way? How long ago was this?
This was, I think I took the job in 2008.
Gotcha.
And I kind of started diving into everything right away. And it's so funny too because I knew absolutely nothing about building websites, and I just started. And I'm the personality type where if I'm going to learn something, I dig in all the way. Like I have to keep drilling and drilling and drilling and drilling.
Right.
Eventually, found myself to a little website called tentblogger.com, written by a great guy named John Saddington, who is a friend of mine now, and he introduced me to WordPress, into blogging, and it started out me just blogging my lessons, what I was teaching every week, so that parents could know that I'm not teaching their kids crazy things.
Right.
So I started doing that, and then eventually that led into me starting my own WordPress-powered blog instead of, I was on Posterous at the time. And then I dug into WordPress. I just loved it. I love the CMS. I love the marketplace of it all, and I just things just started clicking for me really quickly. And before you know it, I had designed my own blog, and people were asking me, "Hey, a great experience there, but ever since the day I was born, I've wanted to get out." I was born just wanting something bigger, and I was named after Dustin Hoffman.
Gotcha.
I don't know. Nobody would know that because I don't say it very often. But my mom was a huge fan of his, and little did she know I would, too, myself, want to become an actor. And so ever since I was born, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to be in film, television. I loved theater. One of my favorite movies growing up was The Wizard of Oz.
Nice.
So I loved musical theater as well. I loved to dance. So I was addicted and all about the performing arts. And so naturally, you can't do much of that in a small town. So when I graduated high school, I booked it out to LA. My dad actually lived out there, so it made it a little bit easier transition. I was able to audition and get into a very prestigious acting academy, the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, and made it into their second-year program, which is by invite only. And so did my 2 years there and learned so much. And I kind of just dove right into the world of acting. I was able to land an agent right away. And
are you kidding? Wow. I mean, because that is such a tough market. I mean, he must have really busted out some skill set on him to get. Before we get started, this is what I promised you. This is my imitation of your profile picture. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. That's me. That's me imitating you. What's up?
Awesome.
Without the facial hair. You like that?
Yeah, you need to put a little facial hair or maybe some mascara, just kind of.
I do, just to get that on there. All right, so listen, we're going to start off. I have so many things I want to talk to you about. Your blog post that you did yesterday about don't ask for permission, just press start. I love that. We're going to talk about, of course, your blog challenge, but let's talk about you. I really want to hear your background and kind of your Reader's Digest version of how you got to where you are today. Make it as long and short as you like. You got all the time in the world.
It's funny. I've been telling this story a lot, and online I feel like you only get to see a little snippet of people's lives because we tend to be, we see them on Google Plus or we see them on Twitter, I really love sharing stories. Sometimes it's a little awkward to share my own story, but I'll try to keep it brief because it's pretty crazy. It won't make much sense.
It's a little cray-cray. We all love some cray-cray.
A little cray-cray. So I grew up in a small town, Pennsylvania, a little town called Sharon. Shout out. Yo, nobody's ever heard of it, I promise you.
Except the two people that live there right now, right?
The 2.5 people that live there. Someone just had a baby.
Oh, nice.
So I grew up in a small town. I loved my small town.
That's tough. So good for you.
Yeah, certainly. And I really. The only reason that was able to happen was because I really got plugged into a really great church right away. My agent went to my church and she said, "Hey, you act?" "Yes, I do." "Well, I attempt to. I don't know if I could officially say I'm an actor yet." But
I would always just say I act up,
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm an aspiring. I always like that word, aspiring.
Right.
So anyways, I did that. Didn't get my big break, as some might say. But I did some things. It was a lot of fun. And I realized really quickly that in Hollywood, and Judah knows too.
What up, Judah?
And in Hollywood, you know, celebrities act and actors wait tables. So I ended up waiting tables like most of the actors in LA, and I didn't really like that. It was barely paying the bills and wasn't providing the lifestyle that I really wanted. So I ended up taking a job as a youth pastor. I was teaching teenagers, middle school through high school, about Jesus, and you know, it was something I really loved, I was passionate about, and I was still able to kind of do my acting thing on the side if I wanted. However, that wasn't quite paying the bills, and so I started to teach myself design. And I always had an eye for design. I knew Photoshop a little bit, and